it's Grace at gbmaltese, and I told you I was going to probably start with this puppy. This is an 11 count, so I do know that it doesn't tell you this, but 11 count, you use 3 strands of floss when you're doing it, since they are larger holes. So I found this. I've been watching some different videos on YouTube, and gosh, I wish I could remember what the girl's YouTube channel is that I got this tip from. But I've watched so many different things getting tips, and there are so many different ones. But I have seen this on several. They said, I've decided I'm going to start in a large area. This is going to be white, even though that shows yellow. It showed to go ahead and roll this over. Now, you could either use, and this is something I already knew about, is using the little clips, because that's something you can do in diamond painting also. And you can clip this into each end and hold it in place. And then another one that I thought was kind of neat, so I've got a clip in each end to hold this, so I'm not struggling to hold it and cramping my hands. Another one was, this is a thread holder, spool of thread, and you can also put that there and even keep it more secure. So whatever makes you happy, floats your boat, whatever. You could put a couple of those on there if you want, but that's how I'm going to start, because you can't hold it the other way. Wadding up in my hand will mess up the material. This will also keep you from getting this material, the front, dirty. Make sure your hands are clean when you do your cross stitch, so you don't want to get your canvas dirty. Since I'm starting with white, this is how I take a strand off of these long cards. I just pull one like this, and I just will pull one end, and then I just pull the other. And you don't have to take it all off, and then just kind of get it back in place. Now, since I'm going to do 3 strands, I used to do it where I pull 3 strands all at once and pull it, but I don't do that any longer. Also, I am not going to sew with this long of a strand, because I don't want to fight detangling this all the time. So I'm going to fold it and then snip that in half. Put my extra piece over there. When I get more comfortable, I might do it that way. And what I do now, I used to do 3 at a time, or 2, whatever. I pull 1 strand at a time. It's just easier. So, there are 6 strands in your floss, as most of you know. So, let's see if I can get all of that pulled apart. Okay. So, I've got 1 strand here. And I'm going to pull it just like this. Pull it straight out, okay? And I'm going to keep that in my hand, because I want them all going in the same direction. It just lays better that way. And I'm going to grab another one and pull it out and lay that next to this one. And grab another one and pull that one straight out. I don't have to worry about it tangling as badly as if I do it the other way. And that's the way I used to always do it. And then I saw someone doing this. I'm like, oh, that looks easier. Then you want to get your pieces evened up before you start. Okay. I use a needle threader. I also have this magnetic holder. These are some things I just got off of Amazon. They may have it on their site. I'd already had these before they contacted me. So I'm going to pull one of the needles that they sent. I use a needle threader because I don't feel like spending all my time trying to find the hole in the needle. My eyes aren't like they used to be. No, sir. And then just pull it through. Okay, now I'm going to start from the bottom down here, and I put my needle in the left bottom part of the square. Do the left bottom, and I am going to learn how to do the sewing method, but I'm not going to try doing it right now. I'm just going to do this old school way, the stab and stitch, because that's the way I've always done it, and it has always served me well. Now you can do this what you want to do on the tail is now you're going to sew over it. So lay it down flat. If you do crochet and you have your tail and you want to sew over it. So I'm going to hold that tail down with this finger so I can sew over it. And you can go ahead and make a complete stitch, or you can do half stitches and go all the way across. You can mix it up. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and do stitches all the way across, halfway. Just like that. It's so simple. Oh my goodness, I don't have to count. I am loving this. I'm loving it. Okay, I'm checking to make sure I'm sewing over this tail. Okay, so far so good. So, try to make sure I'm in the camera. Okay, go in there again. Make sure I'm going over that tail. There we go. You don't want to pull your strands too tight or too loose. Okay, I've got a little bit of a, oh, I think that was from the beginning. I'm not going to worry about it now. I'm back. This is my first time doing this, so I'm not going to worry about it. But when you're doing cross stitch, you don't want to make your strands too tight or too loose. You want to try to keep them about the same. Don't just pull, and you don't want it to be so loose that it's bumped up. Okay, let's see. All right, we're still getting that tail in there. This is so relaxing. Oh my gosh. If I'd known this was this great before, I would have joined on this wagon sooner. It's so nice not having to count. Now, I do like to do counted cross stitch when, okay, if there's something that I've, maybe found a pattern that I really like, and I didn't know anything different than that. The fabric is a little tighter, putting it through the holes. I think that will loosen up as I do handle this more. But this is so easy. Guys, you've got to get one if you've never done this. Oh my goodness. And I am wearing some magnetic, I have glasses, and I just have flip-on reading glasses over them so I can see it better, and I have a bright light over it. Some people even use a light pad underneath so they can see the holes. Whatever makes it easier for you. And then when I go back, I put it in the bottom corner, right corner this time, and stitch over it. Always stitch in the same direction. Don't switch it up, because it won't look right. Your stitches aren't going to be laying in the same direction, and it's not going to look quite right. You know how you take a piece of velvet and you rub it, and parts of it is dark, parts of it's light? That's the way this is going to look if you do that, because the light is hitting it in a different manner. So look how easy. Oh my goodness. This is my first time doing it. I am shocked. Oh my gosh, I love this. How many of you think you want to try this? Wow. And on the website of 7 Great, because this is where this came from, 7great.com. They have lots of tools, so you can get different tools to help you with cross stitch at fabulous prices. I did tell you in my last video that I have ordered some things. Yeah, I already did. Now, right here, I can't go back into the stitch that I left, because if I go back up in this stitch, let me show you, it's going to undo my stitch. So even though I do go in that way, this first stitch, instead of going in the bottom left, I'm going to go to the top right and go down to the bottom left, because I will keep my stitch in the same direction. Okay, got my tail snugged in there. You want to get about at least 3 stitches over it. I'm going to this time do the full stitch. Well, you can do it, like I said, you can do it either way. I'll do a full stitch so you can see how that looks. You can just do the full stitch. And I have to pull some of my thread out. Get that a little bit. And look how this held it. I just love this. Oh my gosh. I can sit anywhere now. I can take this with me anywhere, and I can sit and talk, because when you're doing county cross stitch, you're just sitting there stitching. I can't talk until I get into a area where I'm doing a bunch of stitches in one place. But this is so much fun. Oh my gosh, I really love this. Love it. I have hand problems, and this is not hurting my hands at all. And I think having this rolled up and fastened either with clips or a spool holder makes it so much easier. This is nice. I'm gonna go back to doing just my other. Well, I'm gonna try something. Okay, I've been watching people. Well, I'll wait and I'll do it off camera, and then once I figure out how to do the sewing method, then I'll show you, because then you're only working from the front, and I think that's so cool. But let me practice that a little bit before I get on here and make a mess out of my beautiful piece here. I'm gonna call this quits for now, so you don't have to. To me, it's so relaxing. And when I was watching people do this, I actually enjoyed watching them stitch, because they have been doing this probably a lot longer than I have. I used to be a lot faster back in the day, but it's been a while. But with this printed, wow, this is a game changer. But let me show you how I'm going to finish it off when I get to the end. All I do is I turn it over and I run my needle underneath at least 3 of these threads and pull it through. And then I just clip it and I'm done. And that's it. Simple. Then get you another thread out, the way I showed you. Well, I still have 3 on this other one, and I'll just be able to continue going from there. Tell me what you think. This is so much fun. I'm loving this. Okay, you tell me what you think. I think this is gonna be so cute. Now, here's what it's this is what it's gonna look like. And it's not gonna be these colors. I mean, you could tell I'm using white on this yellow part. If you have any other questions you wanna ask me, I will do my best to answer any questions you have. I have a needle minder in my bag that needle minders are kind of like cover minders. Those of you who dye acrylic paint, and it's got a magnet on the back, and it sticks, and you can just put your needle on it, and it minds your needle. It just holds it. It will hold it in place wherever you put the needle minder. So I can show you that on another day. But I'm just having too much fun. I'm going to let you go, and I'm going to continue doing some stitching. So I'm going to stop for now. I'm just going to